Hello everybody and welcome to game 3 of week 7, King of the Hill. You see before you our blue player playing as the Soviets. It is of course our current king, Brozras.
And in the north, don't call him incredible just yet, it's FaHu playing as OKW, going for a Kubel first build.
Yeah, and I like this, by the way. I like the Kubel first on this map. It's good with OKW. We do see Brozras has gone for that tier 1. Now, he played Maxims in the last game we saw. This time it's tier 1. And if he does decide to bring anything out from there at the start, he'll be a little slower to the field. So Kubel, nice choice to get those resources nailed down early. Or he could play aggressive with it.
Just getting Brozras's player card up if you're wondering what that typing was. Brozras is currently number 2 in the world as Soviets. He hasn't actually got that many games under his belt relative to other players in auto match. I mean, he's got 800 games lifetime as Soviets, but it's more how he's spent those games. He's got a great win-loss ratio in auto match. He's been, I think he's.
Sorry.
You okay? You having an asthma attack?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, good. Having the M3 coming out for Brozras. It's a pretty similar build to Von Ivan earlier on in that first game. Trying to hunt down the Kubel.
If you wanted to know what I was gasping at, is it because Brozras was outside of the capping zone, like slightly again? I was just laughing that it keeps happening to him. He's really unfortunate with the positions. I think he's trying to hang on the edge of the point, but you know, it's like I don't think FaHu is expecting this scout car out as early as it's coming.
No.
Fortunately, he's quite close to his base though, and playing as OKW, so, Brozras isn't going to be able to push.
No. It is vintage Soviets though. It's circa 2013 kind of style, getting the M3 out. If new players are wondering what's the most efficient way to ensure you're on the edge of the capping circle, just move through it, then hit Halt, that's S or W on your keyboard, on the exact edge, and you'll be raring to go for the next capping order. That's probably the most efficient way of doing that.
FaHu's been fortunate there because the scout car, it's actually taken up a position. Thought it was going to hide. It's not. He's decided he's wasting too much time. Going to start engaging those Volksgrenadiers. And so yeah, unfortunately, not what Brozras probably wanted to catch that Kubel off guard. And FaHu did kind of succeed in keeping Brozras off of resources for a short amount of time.
We have had it's not. I don't think it's disrespectful. I just think it's brutally honest. Straw poll go up about the timings of this game. It's in brackets of 5 minutes. It goes up to from 0 to 5 to the 6th option, which I believe, which is more than 30 minutes. So I'll be keen to see what people think, and then I'm keen to see how expectations match that. Stern Pioneer having to stop capping that mine for a moment. M3 with the penal battalion inside it.
It was a shame that he was trying to get the mine on the retreat whilst having the Stern Pioneers there, but very, very fortunately for Brozras, he'd managed to go in and scout it with the M3. Now he's got to get that thing out of there. Volksgrenadiers do not have Faust yet, due to not having their headquarters set up.
Yeah, and they're about to get that very shortly, I believe. I mean, FaHu has the option to go for battle group should he want it. No, he's going to wait a little bit longer, which indicates mechanized, perhaps.
So no big mistakes here, and even Brozras just managing to save his scout car there, repairing that whilst doing some important capping. He's neglected to get his munitions, which of course we saw in that last game. He was spending so much munitions, things like recon. We'll see if we see that again because he's gone for the same commander, NKVD rifle disruption. And yeah, but by FaHu he's playing a pretty solid game at the moment. He hasn't gone for his tech yet. What he's done is brought out the AT gun for the scout car.
One of the great parts of NKVD rifle disruption tactics is a lot of Soviet players who aren't so mind savvy end up floating munitions, and of course you've got 4 avenues of munitions sink here. Recon for 60, you've got fear propaganda for 80, rapid conscription for 120, and finally the IL-2 for 180. So you're spoiled for choice really, and it kind of reverses what is usually an abundant resource. Here comes the M3.
FaHu's trying to be careful with the Kubel there. Flamethrowers upgraded on the Pioneers in the scout car. And is he going to make any push? FaHu's got to realise he still isn't able to snare this and should probably look at getting that sorted quickly. So his AT gun which was in a good position. But he wants his AT gun to be able to get that big shot off.
Yeah, I mean, one shot from redditcoh against near full health M3, it just totally get away. You need to get that Faust in tandem in order to make it fully successful there.
Interestingly though, I mean, BrosRuss hasn't had as much on the field as FaHu, you know, but he's actually still capping a lot more of the map. He's also holding the pressure points. He's had double fuel. You know, with considerably less and considerably further away from his base territory. So, you know, BrosRuss is just playing very, very good engagements. He's always been in green cover. He's always been kind of forcing the scout car. Sorry, getting the scout car to force units away from the center. So, good play from BrosRuss so far. Very promising play. Let's see where FaHu's going. He's actually building the mechanized regiment.
Yeah, to be honest, he's not a bad little setup here. He's got that nice green cover and reinforced steel barricade position. He's got an issue mine next to his cutoff in that famous yellow/red cover negative road of imminent death. He's got another shoe mine up near to where the M3 is right now. Maybe he'll tempt him onto it. There you go. Oh, just driving around it. But, you know, FaHu has a setup, we'll say that.
Looks like Conscript's about to trip that shoe mine. It was not for its intended target. That's really unfortunate as well. You can see that he is trying to make these traps work, trying to make the planning work, but it isn't happening.
No. It's not worked out in his favour there, and FaHu is penned back. He's losing his fuel again. And the M3 is running rampant. Offloads its combat engineer. Retreats it because he wants to get tier 3 up. You could have driven him there, but instead they're making them sprint. That's the Soviets for you. Oh, mine!
Oh, he's going to trip the mine!
Nice.
Good mine placement. FaHu getting a little bit of a window back in, but he's got to be quick. This double fuel from BrosRuss is going to be spent. Fortunately, he already has the Raket on the field, so he can focus on getting his first vehicle up. Interestingly, though, if BrosRuss does make use of this lead and go for the T70, FaHu will have the opportunity to go for the Puma. So getting that T70 out too early could provoke a counter pick. Or we could see that classic timing happen where the Lukes comes out against the T70. It's a bit more of a stalemate.
Unfortunate gun battle for FaHu. He moved into position to flank their penals, but he himself is now out of position. redditcoh isn't on target vehicles only, which is odd. Not see that very often. Kubelwagen possibly in a difficult position.
He's moving around a lot as well. Of course, when you're moving around a lot, you're not getting that kind of accuracy that you need. You're not firing the guns as much, and BrosRuss is taking advantage of this to keep pushing up the map. Now he's going for that big strategic decap. FaHu's trying to find resources on the right-hand side. FaHu's still got a lot of resources to play with, by the way. He can still build. He could get a machine gun out. Get another. Whoa, BrosRuss, tier 4.
I can't believe it. Leisure IX España in chat is saying GG. He chose FaHu. Like, don't BM the choice that you made. You know, this is all you're doing, Leisure.
Well, tier 4 rush is great, and he's actually coming up to the fuel he needs to get a T-34 out immediately. So this game could last, you know, under 12 minutes.
Well, the most common choice, by the way, in the poll was 0 to 5, but between 10 and 15 was in second place, so I think that's realists.
It's interesting. FaHu has to get some serious control back on this. He needs to be spending his time planting mines, which he is doing, so it's good to see that he is actually employing that, but of course BrosRuss just pops recon from his 4 CP. So BrosRuss is going to see this, and FaHu, I don't think, has clocked that BrosRuss is going to, as you can see right now, BrosRuss will be having a look around. He'll be able to see everything that's going on. He knows that mine is there, and we'll be able to be careful of it when this vehicle comes in.
Somebody dethrone BrosRuss, please. I'm sick of listening to the recon playing. I'm begging the next contender, play out of your skin. Please. I can't take any more. I'm hiding in the corner, casting from the tactical map. I refuse to go back into the centre.
FaHu's not going to go for the VP cap there. It looks like he's going to try and decap Brosras from his resources, something that might be very, very important for him to do right now as he's working from the back foot. I think the Lukes and the T-34 may come out around the same time, which is really unfortunate. In fact, the T-34 may come out before the Lukes.
Yeah. Lukes is a little bit late, shall we say, by 3 minutes. It's coming up against a formidable Tier 4 opponent. I remember the good old days when Tier 3 had the T-34 in. And when Soviet industry happened and I got my infamous top 100 rank, Dan, I had a 3-minute T-34.
Here is the T-34, the dominant unit, and its opponent has entered the field. The Panzer II.
The Kummelwagen! Oh yes, indeed. The Panzer II Lukes.
Who will win this battle of titans? The answer is Brosras, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay, fair enough. The Panzer II's reversing away right now. I tracked it as though I was casting it, right. And the Panzer IV came on down the road, then started reversing.
He's considering, do I want to fight this battle? Could I maybe be pulled to another division where I might be more useful? Maybe there's somewhere in the south of France that I could just kind of tour around and smash through buildings. I'm fed up of the Eastern Front. These T-34s.
Panzer II had a very brief glory period, 1940 to 1940. In the Battle of France, and that's pretty much it.
And now you know why.
Because oh god.
Alright, he's going to try and make use of it at least. And we've got 3 Raketans on the field. So at the very least, let's give some credit to FaHu. He's pinning himself for a position where he can engage his T-34 and then enjoy the benefit of the Lukes. But it's going to be for a short window still, because plus 35 fuel for Brosras. He's going to have another one within minutes. We're seeing mines being laid even as far as the front lines for FaHu right now. Just making any chance of a comeback more and more distant.
If you have ever been to Bovington Tank Museum, and Dan, I'd urge you to go at some point. In fact, I'll go with you.
I actually will. I want to see, because they've got all 5 Tigers, haven't they, at the Bovington Museum for another year and a half, I think.
They've got everything there, mate. Honestly, I was just going through my photos. I wanted to see if I stood next to the Panzer II, and I stood next to a lot of the tanks for comparison. There's a photo of me next to a Goliath, for example. Yeah. But the Panzer II, I didn't. But it was tiny. Honestly, it was like nipple height. It was really, really small. I was like, how can 3 Germans get inside that thing? I couldn't understand it.
Oh, FaHu losing a Volksgrenadier squad there. The Raketans are not up to deal with this. Those Raketans, by the way, they could attack move the green cover sandbags to remove that cover that Brosras has been so effectively utilizing. I think we see Brosras now is actually targeting Volksgrenadiers, but FaHu is trying to support the Lukes with an insane amount of anti-tank, but of course Brosras has taken the anti-tank straight up the center, and of course now there is no AT there to push it away. You also see the Katusha hits the field AE.
Indeed, the Stalin organ, the crescendo of destruction, is about to put a punctuation mark on the sorry chapter that has been this game. Sorry, the incredible action that we've seen on Crossroads, my mistake. So, very eagerly anticipating this. It's got 16 rockets done. 16
rockets, wow.
But
you know what Brosras got? Brosras has got 16 recon planes to help it. Which each one at the moment taking its turn to fly a pass over FaHu's base, and then the others refuel.
Go on, Katusha. Oh, he's firing it to the west. The west. Oh, look at all these Raketenwerfers. That's incredible.
Oh, it's a sad day to be a Raketenwerfer.
It is. You just want to work Raketens and just, you know, be invisible, and then rockets hit you from the sky. T-34
trying to get some shots off on the Lukes. That Raketen is getting some shots, is decrewed by the conscripts. That may now go into the hands of Brosras. I think he's going to take it in this fight against the Panzer II. And Brosras doesn't seem to be capping the VP, to just put the huge pressure outside the base. Going to go for another T-34, and I think we could see him go for base destruction. Really make use of the Annihilation game mode.
I think it would be euthanasia at this point. Panzer II firing on the penal battalion as it marches forth. He's now using fear propaganda artillery.
Yeah, this is insult to injury. I mean, it's like poor FaHu is in a position where he needs to be coming back on the field. But Brosras is like, I'm going to spend 80 munitions and just make sure your units
to read the leaflets as they hit the ground. And they're really demoralising things that, you know, they're saying, FaHu, your stream is bad. You lost to DevM in under 20 minutes in 3 games. It's terrible stuff on there. That's really bad BM from Brosras. I can't believe he's sending those horrible messages out.
FaHu is going to surrender now. It was, I do know it was a good early game attempt, but Brosras is proving to be too strong for all of our contenders today.
He's definitely a powerful man.
Okay, it did unmute me this time, so I'm not really sure what happened earlier. But there we go. That was our FaHu versus Brosras game. Brosras, of course, 2 wins now, so he is actually earning on the accumulator. It's going to be £40 in his account, and he'll be looking to get more. We're going to go to the spin wheel. I gotta stop calling it that.
The wheel of fate. Do you want me to do? Just allow me to do the spiel, and then it gets you to the pinwheel.
Give me the spiel.
There is no further time to wait, or commiserate, or go to your bedroom and think about other things. It is time to spin the wheel of fate.
Here it goes. This is quite trippy. It makes me dizzy when I watch it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's going to be... Oh, I think we're going to get another moderator pick. It is. It's going to be another moderator pick. Do we have a different moderator? Do we have Ishtari or Angel that wants to pick?
You know you can get it to eliminate options every time it does it. That is a thing you can change if you wanted to in the future.
Do we want to do that, though? I think it's...
Yeah.
We do?
Well, we've got 3 raffles, haven't we? So, yeah, I think in the future we should do that.
Okay, we can experiment with that. Okay, that means... Ishtari is already picked immediately. He's not going to let Legia have another go at it. It's going to be Carl is the next one. Carl, of course, as you mentioned earlier, is rank 1 in all 5 factions at the moment. Is that correct?
4 of 5 factions. He's not quite yet a Grandmaster, like Brosras has been in the past. He's a Master.
Okay, so I think the only one he doesn't have is Soviets as rank 1. Is that right?
I can find out for you if you like.
Have a look.
His name in game right now is Shishi123, and he's ranked 4 as Soviets. I think the Soviet ladder is one of the most competitive ladders, I must be honest. So it is difficult to get there. And above him right now is Von Ivan, Brosras, and Talisman. So he's not quite yet a Grandmaster, and he's got a lot of work to do to get that elo to be above those really great auto match players above him.
Okay. I've just asked him to change his name, just for the sake of casting.
Yeah, absolutely. We always, if we can, have
compete under your name. I think that's
yeah, it's a rule. I always say in tournaments, rule that I've set is you must compete under your most commonly known name, because it always winds me up when you get players like changing their name. Like, for example, a famous KotH player called Alias changed his name to Fireball just in time for an SNF tournament. And it was just like, what? It's like you're rank 1 in all factions and you've changed your name for the big tournament. It's like, what the hell? It's not very good from a marketing standpoint.
He is going to change it. He has confirmed it. So that's good. That's good to see. Good to see he's willing to do that. So I'm just looking at this wheel. Should we do this
eliminate
next week?
options? Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So we put multiple of the ones that the fans will want most, the raffle and the straw poll, didn't we? So
yeah,
I mean, we can't just have Legio picking every game, surely.
Something every week. So I'm just going to have a quick look. If anybody doesn't know this already, you can exclamation mark players in chat and you can see the players that are available to play. Legend is at the top just here. So of course green players are ones that are signed up and raring to go. So FaHu's knocked out now after that last game. So who have we got? We've got Caesar, Helping Hands, J for Jet, Nagano, Red Wings, Refero is there as well, who's our recommended player for today. Sidolio, and a new addition, Lieutenant Balmy, actually, who's just entered in, I can see.
UCS veteran.
Absolutely, yeah. It's good to see that we're still getting sign-ups for the event. Still getting people who are
Just
training
for,
up.
like, older fans of the series, the best player in the world at one point was Siberian Platoon, and he went to had a career in the military instead of playing Company Heroes, which is so silly of him. But Nagano's just said he's going to try and get him to sign up. Like, Dan, this isn't that hype now, but 5 years ago, 7 years ago, this would have been like the chat going, ah! But now it's just, oh, right.
Well, I wasn't really in Company of Heroes 1, but I definitely know the
He was
name.
joking. He was joking. He said, no, but I can use his name and play like Paula does. It was a joke. Well done, Nico. Okay. Very funny. Very funny.
So I actually asked Nagano if he wanted to do one of the masterclass series, and he said he politely declined. He said
he's not confident with his English, is he? But he comes
he
across
said
like he has excellent English.
That wasn't the funny part of the story. He said, "Well, what if we translate?" He said, "To be honest, I couldn't do it in Russian," and I was like, "Okay." It's like, I said, "I don't think I'd have anything to say." So I was like, "All right, well, we'll don't worry about it then. We'll skip out this week." And
I might know why that is actually, and it's really I can't say it live basically, but I can say it after, and it's quite interesting. Put it that way.
Oh really? Okay.
It's really interesting.
Has he taken a vow of silence as a Tibetan?
I don't want to say anymore, but it's